thumbprints are a thing of the past. They physically need you to be present and provide your biometrics to do a comparison. But now things have changed. It's all about face scans and retina scans. So remotely, some draconian home country regimes, and I'm saying some people watching my channel exactly know which places and locations I'm talking about, but they can remotely detect who you are. They don't physically need you to touch anything, and they can download or access all your information, all your history, your home address and stuff like that. They can find cases, they can prosecute you, they can prevent you from leaving the territory and put you behind bars. And the intention of this video is not to break any home country rules. A quick disclaimer: you should always check your home country rules and regulations and follow the law. But the intent of this video is to talk about countries or places where you can quickly establish a plan B. So when shit hits the fan, right, you're doing the right thing, but let's say times are bad. You want to have a change. You want to leave that location. You want to be privately located in a place that you believe in, which is your plan B location. Yes, you cannot get rid of the home country in certain cases. Maybe you have substantial assets located in that location. You have family in that location, so you do need to travel. You cannot completely eliminate that country from your life. But yes, you can have a plan B. Yes, you can have a plan B life established outside. So for a change, let's say in a year, half the time or less than half the time, you want to have a change, or there's a phase in your life where you absolutely don't want to be in that surveillance state. You want to exit, you want to have a private time outside with your family. Then there are 5 countries that are the best. They are friendly, they have a quick permanent residency. Some of them have a fast track to citizenship. So once you have a passport, you're completely detached, or you are independent. So you can obviously go to your home country and be or feel safe inside. So I'm going to discuss these 5 options. But before I get started, if you're new to this channel and if you feel that I add a value to your life, then please go ahead and check your subscription. A lot of my regular viewers don't realize that they haven't yet subscribed. So please take a moment, check your subscription and turn that on. That helps me get you breaking news on time. And the moment there's any new program, any new citizenship, any new permanent residency, I promise you, you would be the first one to be notified. So go ahead and turn that on. The first country on this list is South Africa. The reason why I particularly like South Africa, and it's actually 2 main reasons. 1, it's a paper residency. 2, it's a permanent residency. And yes, there's a path to citizenship with very less time on the ground as compared to some other countries. You're primarily looking at the final year, right? You got to have continuous presence between year number 4 and year number 5 in South Africa. But this permanent residency is through donation. So no, you don't have to show any income per month. You have certain qualifying criteria. Of course, the basic qualifying criteria is that, but you have an option to purchase this. You pay a donation and you're paying this donation only after approval. So once you get approved, you pay the donation. What is the price? The donation amount is 6,800 USD approximately. So that's the one-time cost. You get a permanent residency. It's a paper residency. You have to maintain just 1 day of entry every 3 years. And as I said, in year number 5, you can apply for your citizenship. The South African passport is quite useful. A lot of you say that South Africa is not a safe country, etc. But here we're talking about a paper residency. So we are not talking about physically spending too much time in South Africa. Here we're talking about the all-important permanent residency. And then eventually that citizenship, the low-hanging fruit that I always keep talking about. The South African passport is quite unique. It has access to some hidden gems like Uruguay, Paraguay. Normally, those countries aren't available on most nationalities. They are available on the stronger nationalities, but on some of the weaker passports, you don't have those 2 countries available. Particularly for that reason, I really like the Turkish passport and the South African passport. A lot of people don't want to spend money in Turkey. They won't put 400k in Turkey. So South Africa is much cheaper, 6,800, the direct permanent residency. And then after 5 years, you can obtain or you can apply for your South African citizenship. It's quite easy and straightforward to get visas to Western countries on the South African passport. So let's say your home country passport is strong. but you want to jack up the strength of the South African passport and you want to travel on the South African passport to a Western country, then that's a respectable citizenship. There's a lot of diversity and a lot of ethnicities that live in South Africa, so it easily could blend with your profile, right? Could look like a natural option, not like a purchased Caribbean passport, which is going to raise red flags and you're going to get scrutinized for no good reason. With a South African passport, it's a decent option for travel. So that's the number one option. The number two option is the neighbor is Mauritius. It has a direct permanent residency. If you are over 50, you directly qualify for that permanent residency. All you're opening up is a savings account, a saving bank account. We help you open that as part of our package. So yes, we have a dedicated team that specializes in expediting the South African permanent residency. We have a special procedure due to which our attorney, our team is able to expedite your process. So that's one. In Mauritius, there's a specialized team that manages the permanent residency filing, either a direct permanent residency that you can obtain if you're over 50. But let's say you're under 50, then there's a second option where you open up a business bank account, deposit some funds in that account. It's your funds for your business expenditure. So you're not losing any money, you're not donating any money, and you can obtain a permanent residency in Mauritius. Now, can you expedite, can you fast track the Mauritian citizenship? Now, there is a fast track option, the 2-year naturalization pathway in Mauritius. If you look at their constitution, if you purchase a property in Mauritius, so let's say you move to Mauritius, you get the permanent residence, you absolutely love the country and you want to diversify some assets, want to purchase a home for yourself in Mauritius, and you put 500K, which is $500,000 US in Mauritius, then there's a 2-year fast track to naturalization that you can explore. So that's an extraordinary passport. Although a lot of people that I work with look for the permanent residency. For citizenship, they target South Africa, but for permanent residency, they keep Mauritius. Does not hurt, does not really, you're not donating anything. There's no crazy golden visa fees for this option. All you're looking at is the nominal application fee and the attorney fees, and you have a valuable permanent residency in your portfolio. Does not scan your face if you're buying a toilet paper. Some countries do that. So it's pretty interesting and a pretty nice option, a pretty subtle option to sit in your portfolio. So these are the two great countries in Africa. The other three countries and my favorite countries, one of them is the best option. I'm going to discuss that towards the end. But the other three countries are in Latin America. The lowest hanging fruit in Latin America happens in 2 days. It is the Paraguay residency, a temporary residency, which converts into a permanent residency after 2 years. And for Paraguay, there's no qualifying criteria. Simply decide that you want to land in Paraguay. So let's say you have access to Paraguay. No special type of visa is needed. If you have a visa free, you land in Paraguay. Only a couple of documents that you need to prepare. So our team works with you to collect those documents. That's your birth certificate and police certificate. You land in Asuncion. You spend a couple of days with our team in Asuncion, and you can get the Paraguayan temporary residency, and then you convert it into permanent. There is a pathway to citizenship. Also, it's a Mercosur nationality. The cedula from Paraguay is very important because that works in that Mercosur region. So that's the third option. The fourth option on this list is one of my favorite Plan B options, and I just made a video about the permanent residency, the direct permanent residency in 45 minutes. How I was able to get the PR card from inside Mexico. We have a specialized team due to which we are able to achieve this, but I'm not going to discuss the entire process. If you have missed that video, it covers all the details. You can return and take a look at this video, discuss the entire procedure from start to finish. A very valuable permanent residency. Most people are going to start off from a temporary residency, but if you qualify for permanent residency, then you can directly get the PR. The citizenship from Mexico is one of the strongest, the most powerful options on planet Earth. I rank the Mexican passport higher than the American or the Canadian passport. If you got curious why I feel that, we can return and take a look at this video. We've covered that as well. And then finally, the favorite, the number one option, the absolute must-have option, and it happens in 3 days. It's the permanent residency, the direct permanent residency in Uruguay. They're not scaring the hell out of you. They're going to leave you alone. It's a friendly country. It's a beautiful country. It's a safe country. And it has one of the fastest natural ways to obtain a very powerful passport. One of the most powerful passports you can achieve is the Uruguay permanent residency, and the qualifying criteria is crazy. It's only asking you for $1,200 in active or passive. It does not matter. So if you're working, you are working and you earn $1,200 a month. We simply show that income and our team is able to obtain a permanent residency for you. So initial entry is for 3 days. You complete the process, and then after several months, once your permanent residency is approved, you come and collect that. As then the physical presence requirements for Uruguay is once in every 3 years. So it's a pure paper residency. Uruguay has tax holidays, and eventually it can lead to citizenship. How much time does it take to get the passport? I've covered this with my head of legal in this video. So if you've missed this all important coverage, definitely come back and watch this video. At any point in time, right, you are interested in starting any of these 5 options that I've mentioned, we have specialized teams that expedite your and your family's application and get you the benefit, whether it's most cases, we like to get the permanent residency directly, but whether it's a temporary residency, whether it's a permanent residency, we got you covered. And if you want to learn about the fastest 4 permanent residencies that you can grab, including one that you can do online entirely remotely, if you have missed that all important coverage, hop onto this video. This talks about the fastest possible direct permanent residencies. Catch you in this one.